Well, today I had that news that Gwoza, which many say is the headquarters of Boko Haram, has been captured by Nigerian-led forces. But let's get across to Major General Chris Olukolade, the Director of Defense Information. He joins us via phone today. Good evening, and thank you for joining us today on the program. Well, tell us about this news, because yes, there are many who were elated upon first that tweet from the forces' Twitter handle that they had recaptured Gwoza. How did this go down?
Well, it's significant to us because it's the climax of a series of operational activities that have been on ground and on air. This morning, by the concerted and combined efforts of the Nigerian Air Force and troops on ground, Gwoza was stormed from every direction, and we were able to destroy the administrative headquarters of the so-called Caliphate as declared by the terrorists. At the moment, we are mopping up every portion of that town and the surroundings with a view to apprehend any of them who are be hiding or any of their hostages who might have been kept anywhere. There's a good combing of the whole environment at the moment.
Yeah, as exciting as this may be, and you said the group is combing the environment for stragglers, what about the issues of mines? Is there a group also handling that as well?
Yeah, normally the activities are on to demine the place, and that's part of the mopping up operation until that is completed before we can declare everywhere safe. But there's activities going on to demine and also to search, to locate arms that could be hidden anywhere, and like I said, to locate any of the terrorists who might be hiding.
General, now that the Nigerian army has recaptured Gwoza, we'll be curious to know how long will it be before the civilian populace is able to return home, after it's been liberated?
Well, by the time we are through with the cordon and search, we're going to make a statement about this. The essence, like I said, is to make the place safe. Everywhere that these terrorists occupied for a while is planted with landmines and all kinds of weapons are littered everywhere. Besides, there is the health aspect of bodies here and there, as we found in Bama recently, which is a typical signature of their presence anywhere. When we are through with this, it will be ready for the government agencies to make the place conducive for habitation.
Well, we also understand that they were running in different directions before or while it was being captured, Gwoza. But what can you tell us about either where they've gone and how to fish out all those perhaps who may have escaped?
Well, this operation is holistic in the sense that apart from the move of the Nigerian forces from within the country, we're in contact with our colleagues in the neighborhood, that is in the neighboring countries, who are members of the multinational joint task force. They have been mandated to watch at the borders because some of them will run in that direction. They are alerts in addition to other roles they have to perform in support of this mission. So all those who are fleeing are definitely to meet their own water ahead.
But then talking about fleeing insurgents, I mean, these are people who are just ordinary people like, the normal civilian. And it's also possible that they can simply melt back into the populations of neighboring towns. So how would you be able to deal with a situation like that when, fleeing insurgents just take off whatever they wear and simply melt back into the civilian populations of neighboring communities?
Well, the cordon and search is covering the neighborhood, and anyone found there will have a lot of questions. We have a team that will be screening everyone we find in that place to determine their status. That's in addition to cordoning off everywhere that could be escape route. Anyone found in such places will sort himself out in terms of questions. And if we are satisfied that he doesn't belong, then he may require rehabilitation. But be sure that there is already an arrangement to ensure that any attempt to escape will not be very easy.
Well, I know that the High Command has said that never again would they allow any of this kind of thing happen in any part of the country again. But concerning the cooperation we have with our neighbors, given that child-based insecurity architecture, is that, how long is it going to be for? Because much as there are questions concerning what kind of challenges we faced before we eventually got all the neighboring countries who have signed that agreement to come to an understanding and then begin to deploy forces. So, having come to that understanding now, is it going to last for forever or how long?
Well, this is the beginning of a vital collaboration that will be helpful to the entire sub-region. As some people were asking recently, the porosity of the borders, apart from the fact that the infiltration of all kinds of weapons to this area will be addressed by this collaboration, and apart from the fact that all the weapons being recovered will be subjected to analysis by experts who are coming in to have a look at them, determine their origin and the use to which they have been put in this crisis. So this collaboration will be of use in working to prevent subsequent efforts from the terrorists in this nature.
I know I did ask you this question I'm about to bring back, I think about 6 weeks ago when you also spoke about some towns that were captured. Now that you talked about trying to identify or trace the origin of some of those weapons, how close or far away are we from perhaps identifying sponsors of some of this group?
I don't think I got you right. From whom?
The sponsors of this group. Are we close to identifying
this will be subject of activities of the intelligence elements of the operation, and it is not just to accuse anybody, but to be certain of both their status, their profile, and anyone who qualifies. There is an arrangement to present them for the law to sort out. I must also mention that along with this operation, we have a standing team that is referred to as the Joint Investigation Team, which assesses every detainee and profile them properly to determine what next action about them, those to be presented for trial, those to be freed, and those to be further investigated. Among these, if anyone who qualifies to be a sponsor, it will be handled by the law appropriately.
General Olukolade, the kudos to the troops. That's what a lot of people will be saying out there, and some have said, why keep it so late? But then it's better late than never. The question now will be, how effective will the mop-up be? Because as some will say, this is a very critical part, because having recaptured the town, my colleague asked a question about them filtering back into the society and then looking at see if they are part of the society and then coming back again to sort of reinforce and come back to attack. How effective would the mop-up of the individuals and the weapons be?
Well, this battle cry of never again is not just for the military. We believe that the society is sufficiently mobilized now to know that those who constitute terrorists in our neighborhood must not have a free rein, and we are sure that everybody is on the lookout for them. You will have noticed that even in the internally displaced persons' locations, any of them who strays there is sure to be identified. There is a high degree of alertness in the populace now, and in addition to the activities of security agencies, the stand of never again will definitely be maintained by all Nigerians to ensure that this kind of evil does not happen in our country anymore.
General Olukolade, is there any possibility of having like a more permanent arrangement in place? Now, it required collaboration between Nigeria and her closer neighbors, towards dislodging the insurgents. But remember, insurgency is a hotbed. I mean, West Africa generally is becoming a hotbed of activity for various kinds of rebel groups. So, are there any plans in place to have like a more permanent arrangement, maybe like a West African force, so to say, that would tackle insurgency, in the future?
Yes, the important thing at the moment is our operations. this question will be relevant at the level of international bodies and political authorities to determine the need for such a structure. And when that is determined, I think the public will be aware.
Any news, General, on perhaps Chibok, the girls that were abducted?
Well, at the moment, as I mentioned earlier, the activities ongoing in and around Gwoza, in particular, and all other places that have been liberated, is to be searching and looking out for not just those who may be hiding, but hostages who might have been kept or who by any means be able to escape from them while they are fleeing. We're also watching out for such. By the time we are through with mopping up in these towns, and Gwoza in particular this time, we'll be able to say something on that, on the status of these people. But be sure that we're on the lookout for all kinds of hostages that may be in their custody.
Thank you very much indeed, Major General Chris Olukolade, and congratulations.
And thank you very much. And congratulations to Nigerians as well.